I love new perspective. I want to share a new perspective actually with you. I was supposed to have a session with somebody today and that didn't work out. However, I said something in that moment and I was like, that's a good one. I should talk about that. Because that's what happens when you listen to yourself when you talk. People don't do that. People just spew it out and they don't even think about the repercussions, or they don't even realize that what they're saying has some gold, some gems, some jewels in it. Hey, what's up, Janice? Thank you. All right. So today we are talking about control. Today we are talking about the control monster. The control monster affects you in different ways. A lot of people don't realize their life, how much control affects the decision making, how much other people control your life, and how we think that we're the good person and this other person is not a good person, and how control can show up differently for so many of us. So with that being said, control will have you thinking that people are against you when they're not. Sometimes they're traumatized. Sometimes they just don't understand. Sometimes the language that we're speaking, the way that we're saying it, doesn't translate with them. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the double taps. Tapping on the screen brings more amazing people like yourself into this live stream, so we can keep on building more supply and demand instead of the false and the illusions and the fear and the distractions. We want to be able to level up while other people are panicking and freaking out, and your parents are not going to therapy because they think the rest of the world is messed up, or whatever your situation is. All right? Hey, so the question is, for those of you that take notes, and thank you for those of you that do. I love that people take notes on these live streams. It means a lot to me that I can share this information for free. I love all the people who continue to book time with me, who do those deep dives. I love to see when people get that aha moment. So. The control monster. The control monster says, nobody's going to like this video, so I'm not going to share it. The control monster says, that person is putting me down and I don't like how I feel. I shouldn't do anything about it. The control monster says, I'm weird and I shouldn't show people my weirdness, because if I show people my weirdness, oh my goodness, people are going to have opinions about me. Hey, what's up, Renee? Nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you, Live Cosmo. Thank you. How does control affect your life? Control will tell you that you shouldn't take any time for yourself. Control will tell you that you have to keep on hustling. You have to keep on building. You have to keep on going. There's never any time. There's no time for yourself. For those of you that have stomach issues, sometimes that can be connected to control, because that's where our intuition, that's where our gut, that's where all of the like, oh, I should do this thing sometimes can sit. And when we say, no, I have to control these things, I have to show people that I'm a good person, our stomach tightens up when we don't like how we feel when things are out of control. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the comments. Thank you. Hey, what's up, the Love Conduit? What's up? Nice to see you. So. Oh, and again, if you like cool bracelets, definitely give the Love Conduit a follow. She does stackable bracelets that are really cool. So, I'm in your head. Well, here's the understanding too. The way that I'm able to create content, the way that I'm able to make peace is I understand there are a lot of people that are going through what I'm going through. And I've also realized, for those of you that are content creators that want to go live, that are like, I don't know what to talk about when I go live, consider the fact that when you get anxiety, and this isn't just for content creation, this is also for those of you, oh, this is a good one. I just got this one just right now. All right. So you didn't miss out on your gold job. You didn't miss out on your gold job. Awesome. Or you did not go out and miss out on your gold job. A better opportunity is coming for you. So really start to be aware that other people around you control, that you try to control the way that they control, that control is going to constantly tell you that you don't have enough time. Control is going to constantly tell you that what's another one in relationships? Control is gonna ruin your relationships. Because control is going to say, well, my mom and my dad in society never told me that I should put more effort into the relationship. They just told me I should be in a good relationship. I should just be in a healthy relationship. Control is going to say, I'm just going to keep on yelling, and I'm just going to keep on screaming, and I'm just going to keep on attacking, and I'm just going to keep on using all of this anger to let this person know how angry I am, without actually taking the time to understand that they don't interpret life the way that you do. The control monster comes around and says, we're scared. We're not protected. We're not safe. How many of you feel that way? Be honest about it. Be open about it. I want to get this opportunity. I want to do this thing. But if I do it, they're going to have opinions about me. Or sometimes the control monster will say, don't go to that job. Don't send that interview email. Don't send the cover letter. Don't update your resume. They're not going to hire you, because we've been hurt before. The control monster is going to tell you that nobody understands you, that you're not qualified. I have great news for you. Job descriptions for what they're looking for are theories for what they're looking for those of you that are looking for a job. Your parents, when they told you how to be, gave you theories on how to be. For those of you that walk around with your head down, for those of you that walk around just constantly depressed, that you look at videos that are about motivation. Like, I was watching this person, there's some content creator on here who's just like hyping up what some people might be considering to be simple conversations, where it's like, yes, you're awake, you're above ground. Oh my goodness, this is such a good day. And then somebody stitches that and shows them in their room, and they're like this, and it's like, yeah, this is my reality. And everybody else in the comment section is like, yeah, this is me too. And we feed off of this negative. Control monster is going to tell you that you shouldn't be grateful for what you have, because that's cheesy. The control monster is not going to ever question your responses and your reactions, whereas they've done studies on people who have more emotional intelligence, and people typically can you take 3 to 5 seconds before you have that conversation? Can you take 3 seconds before you respond to somebody? Do you know that they say that when you don't respond for 4 seconds, then that person interprets that as you've rejected them? But in my opinion, when we respond right away without even giving any conscious thought to it, we disrespect ourselves. We invalidate ourselves. We say your need for a response is more important than my need for peace. When you tell people, let me see this. And Drake Skiller, I see you showing me love on the comments and stuff in my videos, so thank you. I told what was on my mind in my job, and I got shouted down for it. So the way, depending on the conversation that you have, things for you to consider if you are taking notes when it comes to the job, when it comes to the workplace, coworkers and stuff like that, is, what is my tone of voice? When I'm speaking to you, if one of my coworkers didn't do a good job, am I speaking from a place? Because a lot of times, people don't even realize that what they're doing is they're actually speaking from a place of like a child who is traumatized, a child who is wounded. So people will talk and they'll say, that person didn't do the good job. They were telling me that to do this, and they did it this way, and they did it this way, and I didn't like that, and they told me that I was stupid, and that's wrong. And then what happens from there is that other person, we just have to hope that person has the emotional intelligence to not read too much into our tone of voice. But when you're communicating that way, what you're doing is you're saying, I'm insecure, I don't like this situation, and you're putting yourself in more of a position of I'm a wounded child versus being very factual in the conversation. And hey, what's up, Megan? Nice to see you, right? And another thing too is to understand, for me, when I go into business, when things aren't going a certain way, I'm very factual. I'm very factual. There was somebody who I've been doing business with for a while that just wasn't showing up, wasn't checking out what I was doing, wasn't communicating with me, and wanted for me to just sign this contract. Old Nikki would have just been desperate and said, okay, this person knows people and that's cool and we can just do business and I'll just ignore all this other stuff and just hope eventually you'll change. I have news for you. The people that you're meant to go with are going to want to do the amount of research and the amount of work and the amount of effort that you are putting in. Another thing when it comes to work-related conversations is that when you actually, before you go into that meeting to talk to that person to say that something's off, please also understand you're getting, if there's more than one person or if there's another person, you're going into another person's movie. You're going into another person's interpretation of what life is. You're talking to a person who has different scenarios and different situations, and this is all humans all across the board. Everyone is telling a different story and everyone is interpreting what you are saying from a different lens. And what I mean by that is that people will say, typically somebody who talks this way is this way. Typically somebody who does this is this. People categorize people. You categorize people, I categorize people. Is it fair? Not always, but all human beings do it. The reason why people connect with me is because they relate to me. They relate to my story when I talk about abusive relationships or being taken advantage of or feeling like I'm an introvert or feeling like I shouldn't speak up or feeling like I was weird or I didn't belong, these kind of conversations. Not everybody relates, and that's okay. So it's on me to use my time management to not always automatically respond, and it's also up to me to use my emotional intelligence to really hear people. And the cool thing is about this is that the more that you practice this, the more that you practice this awareness of I'm listening to people, I'm listening to them, I'm hearing what they're saying. You can be around anybody. You can be around anybody with the nastiest energy, with the nastiest attitude, with the most negative perspective, the most mentally and verbally abusive person, and you can just hear them and you can hear them scream and you can hear them yell and you can hear them lash out and you can just be there to just observe them, where before what you used to do is take that personally. You'd feel it in your chest, you feel it in your stomach, you feel it wherever you feel it, and then the rest of the day what you're trying to do, because you're trying to do it and it's not always successful, is you are trying to get back to center. The people that are meant to go with you will want to understand you. If you came to me and were yelling at me and screaming at me, the first thing I would do is I would identify, wow, this person has a really loud voice. Let me just listen to what they're saying. Clearly, they're not happy. And then from there, I notice how, and again, the cool thing is about this, please take notes, please take notes, please take notes. I have a notebook right up there, okay? The cool thing is about this conversation is that the more that you practice this, the better you get at it. So then I can go quickly, okay, I don't like how this person is talking to me. Got you. I feel anxiety. Okay, this person reminds me of when I was a child and this person talked to me. Got you. Okay, cool. Then I shut off my emotions, I shut off my need for validation, and I listen to them, and I'm listening for their beliefs. Today, what we're talking about is the control monster, the control monster. We all, as human beings, want to control everything. And there was a random person in my life who I no longer associate with in any way, shape, or form who said this to me one day and didn't even realize what a gem it was. And this is like well over a decade ago that they were like, yeah, humans have to be in control. And I didn't really quite process that. I didn't realize how much of a gem that was. But the more that I grow, the more that I learn, the more that I watch human beings and how they move, I realize all that we're doing is based around I have to know, I have to control, I have to know, I have to control, I have to know the outcome. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. Your goal takes one to know one. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. How does control affect your romantic relationships that you choose or you don't choose? Do you know how wild your brain is? Do you know that if mom abused dad, if dad abused mom, if somebody abused you, do you know that that's all that you have to go off unless you read books, listen to audiobooks, take notes, go on TikTok, type in healthy relationship examples, learn about communication, learn about the subconscious mind, then all you're going to have to go off of is how your parents treated each other. And that's familiar. What's up, yo? Nice to see you. And that's a gem right there. Let me pin that. I love how I can say her username and greet you for somebody who lived in New York for over a decade at the same time. It's true, though. It's true, though. It's fear. It's fear. Right? Some of you have been watching me stream for over a year since I've been doing this in October, not last October, but the year before that, and have seen how my background has changed over time. I was probably one of the most needing to be in control kind of people. Even when I was in the abusive relationship, I still might control. And this is for those of you that are in abusive relationships. The control monster will tell you, do not leave this relationship because you don't have any other options. Do you understand what I'm saying? The control monster is going to tell you, you don't have any other choices. Put an emoji, drop an emoji, say yes if this resonates. I'm telling you, it's wild how control shows up for human beings. The control monster will tell you that you can't leave the relationship because you don't have enough money. Some of you, that's the scenario. The control monster will tell you, oh, we don't want to get another job because we don't want to go out there and work because it's too hard and people are miserable. Get your money, and if you don't like the job, quit. The control monster will especially tell you if you were ever told that you're stupid or you're dumb or there's something wrong with you or you're not good enough. The control monster is going to tell you that you can't get a job working online, that you can't get into marketing, that you can't learn promotion, that you can't learn about NFTs, that you can't learn about cryptocurrency, that you can't learn how to start up a business, that you can't learn about SEO ranking on social media, that you can't, and this is especially for those of you that feel lonely. The control monster will tell you don't ever post video content online because people are going to have opinions about you. And little does the control monster know that you don't want those. Oh, come on. Are you serious? You don't even want those kind of people around you, and you care about their opinions. Do you see how silly this is? Do you see how silly this is? Do I give attention to the 150 people who love me as I am, or the one clown who just is making jokes because he doesn't feel like you should be talking about emotions? You tell me. The control monster will tell you, don't focus on hacking you. What if I told you, as you're going on this loving journey, as you're going on this self-love journey, that more eyes are going to see you and more people are going to see you, so some people aren't going to like you? Oh, well, they're not your people. You're not my people. If you don't like me, scroll away. I don't need validation. I don't need 100 million people telling me that I'm a good person. I'd rather have one person on here who's really listening to me than a million people who are just like sitting here like... I'm telling you. Why do we give so much attention to other people not liking us? Because it's familiar, because that's control. Do you get how interesting the brain is? Word. Renee knows the vibes. Thank you, Cats Kid in Stockholm. Thank you. It's different. What's up, Mama Strudel? Nice to see you. Hey, what's up, Robert? Thank you. Everything that I teach, everything that I do, everything that I am is either I love this perspective, I'm in gratitude. I'm in gratitude for those of you that are here. I'm in gratitude when people book time with me, when I see a mom and with their child. Hey, thank you for that gift. That is amazing. Thank you. What do they call those things? It's not just an air dancer. There's like a, yeah, I forget what they're called. Flailing arm, something, something, something. There's a whole comedy skit about it. Hey, thank you, Heather. Thank you. The control monster is going to have you not focus on gratitude and consider the fact that how I feel right now is excited. And it used to feel cheesy for me to feel excited. That's why I get trolls. I get that. That's why I have compassion when people say hateful things to me, because I would have looked at me a couple years ago. I'm like, this guy's a cornball. I get it. There's been people who've actually booked time with me who follow me who are like, yo, at first I did not like you. I didn't like your energy. And then I realized like you were actually sharing good information and it made a lot of sense. Like, I get it. I get it. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I genuinely want to see people win. And yes, I have healthy beliefs around money because I unlearned my old controlling beliefs around money of you have to struggle to be authentic and you have to work really hard to be authentic. And if anybody's making money in an easy way, then we should be jealous of them. I think this is really good information. I think that I should be getting paid for this. And also I'm in gratitude that I can do it for free. And for those of you that are raised by control monsters, that were raised to be presentation based, you can tell that I'm not living in a mansion. Money for me, I'm in gratitude when I make money. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. I'm in gratitude when people do book time with me. I'm in gratitude when people do send donations. However, at the same time, I can't control where I'm going. I can't control what's going to, I can't control how you're going to perceive me. I can't control how you're going to interpret this information. So all that I can do, for example, when I'm live streaming, what I'm actually doing is I'm talking to the younger version of myself. Inflatable flailing tube man, exactly. Right, Megan. Yeah. So how does control show up in your life? How does control weigh you down? How does control tell you keep on staying depressed, keep on staying in the funk, keep on saying that I'm not good enough, keep on putting yourself down? Control is fascinating. And like when we're playing this game, it's not a fun game. It's not fun. It's not fun needing to control things. It's not fun when you have agoraphobia. It's not fun when you're in an abusive relationship. It's not fun when you keep defining yourself as an addict, for those of you that have been in that space. Because a lot of times when people do book time with me, there is some of that conversation. Control will have you thinking nobody relates to you and nobody understands. Why do you think that I'm so open-hearted? Why? Because it's exhausting feeling trapped when you've been abused for so long. What's up, Stina? Nice to see you. Right? The control monster will tell you not to go for certain relationships and certain opportunities. The control monster will tell you that you don't have enough time to do things when you actually do. The fact is, you're just not committed to it because you think that you have to do it all in one swoop, or you have to do it all perfectly. Like, let's go. The control monster will have you thinking that you always, when you create content, it always has to be perfect. Focusing on people who hurt me is control. Yes, yes, yes. When, for example, notice how there are people who have notebooks. And again, I also have a notebook in my bio link. Buy it. It's $8.88. You're supporting me and my family, and I'm supporting you. Energy exchange, if you can. Otherwise, take notes for free on your phone. You have options. Okay? Energy exchange. Do what you need to do. Right? Notice that there are people who are genuinely like, oh, this is really good information. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I never thought of it that way. Oh, I like that. Oh my God, this is me. Oh my God, it feels like you're talking to me. And then somebody else comes in and says, oh, this guy's out of his mind. This guy's a nut job. Oh, this guy's such a scam artist. Look at how whack he is. Who do you think you are, right? Like, who do I give attention to? First of all, when that control shows up and says, be insecure, they're attacking you like when you were a child. And in that same way, for those of you that are like, no, I love this energy, I love this conversation, the people in your life should have some form of that same enthusiasm. It's exhausting living in fear and thinking nobody understands. That's the control monster. I just posted a video about this. Tap on that video if you have a second, double tap on it just to bring more people into the algorithm. You can even hit the bottom right hand corner and do repost. Bring them in. Hop off and hop back on. Or don't. Hang out. I don't care because I'm not in control. If anything, for whatever reason, God forbid that TikTok didn't exist anymore, that's still part of my plan. Yes, it would be frustrating. Yes, I love these live streams. I love connecting with people. I love this family, right? I can't control outside stuff. All that I can do is control my reaction and my response. And when I practice enough, I can control my perspective. Do I have, wait, hold on, let me see. Am I a Scorpio? Yes, I have 7 planets in Scorpio. Can you believe that? Where's this comment? Yes, yeah, Jamie, definitely. I would love to talk with you again. I feel like the biggest thing that I've learned in the past 6 months is that when you're emotionally messy, that's where all of the healing comes in. Vicky, make sure, thank you for subscribing. Make sure you go to my profile, you tap that link in my bio, and you will see book time with me. From there, you will see a link for 15 minutes to connect with me. Put your TikTok username, and we will talk for 15 minutes, sometimes even more, because I love this conversation. I love to see you level up. If you just met me, my name is Nikki Scorpio. I am an introvert, if you can believe it. When you find something you're interested in, you can still be soft-spoken in certain ways in life. But when you're interested in something, whew, watch out. What I talk about is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is all perspective. It's all perspective. It's looking at the roots. My mantra, when I don't like how I feel, my motto is saying, let me go to the roots. Let me get to the root. What is the root? Let me nurture the root. Let me pull the root. Let me heal the roots. It's the root. What is the root? Where does this stem from? What's the first time that I was spoken to in this way? So if you deal with narcissists, if you deal with toxic communication, if you deal with abusive relationships, some of you don't even realize you're around mentally abusive people and verbally abusive people. It is abuse. It is abuse when you speak your feelings and somebody tells you to not speak them. That's abuse, and you don't have to take it. And I really want for you to consider that it used to be challenging for me to speak up to. The difference, the subtle shift, was when I stopped thinking, how is this person going to interpret this? Hey, thank you. What's up, yo? I appreciate that. How is this person going to interpret this? Why when we have that thought, you tell me in the comment section, why is that a bad thing? Why is it a bad thing when we think, I hope this person isn't going to be offended by what I'm about to say? You tell me. Told him in his life that he was too sensitive. He's only talking to himself. So the relationship with me. That's actually why you like me. So the part that you're putting down is connected to the part that you love. So thank you for understanding that I love my emotions and my feelings, and I choose to spend time with people who feel the same way. I love all these answers. Yes, When you're thinking about, I hope that you're not going to be offended by what I'm about to say, or I hope that you're not going to hurt me again, or I hope that you're not going to attack me again, or I hope it's the right time of the day to talk to you. What you're doing is you're blocking your intuition, you're blocking your truth, you're playing yourself smaller. When people don't like something about me, you can tell me full-fledged 100% all the way through, and I will listen because I want to learn, and I will actually take it into consideration. But when somebody comes around me and says, rah, 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 like my example was when I was traveling, when I left New York, when I was living in North Carolina. For those of you that saw me in that background, I was staying at my moderator's place. He's now my brother. It's family now, because family are people that show up. That there was a roommate that was there that just didn't like me. He said that I was conning people on Instagram. He had the entirely wrong app because he was stuck in a whole different parallel universe. And he was just attacking and attacking. And every single time that the dad would come around, he would say some passive aggressive comments. And the fifth or sixth time that he put me down, at least the fifth or sixth time that I heard him, I stood up because I was just like, this guy's never going to stop putting me down. And so I got up and he said, oh, you want to fight? Let's go right now. You want to fight? Let's go. And I'm like, no, I just got up because I wanted to hear clearly how you feel about me. And because you're so aware of who I am, I wanted to hear more about myself. I've been waiting my whole life to hear who I am. Tell me more about myself. Please tell me more, please. I don't need to fight you. We're not going to fight. I want for you to tell me how you feel about me. Tell me more. And he started being homophobic, and he started just talking crazy, just talking out the side of his head. And he just started saying stuff that was just nonsensical and not true. And then from there, I said, okay, I hear you. I hear everything that you say. You're absolutely right to every single thing that you said. I am everything. Because then when you tell that to people who are toxic and who are narcissistic, when you say you're right, what are we going to do now? They don't know what to do. They just want to attack. They don't even have a backup move plan. They don't even have like a follow-up, like, I don't know. I said, but here's the difference. Because I knew what he was saying wasn't who I am, but I don't need validation, and his words don't carry merit. Like, it doesn't mean anything to me because I know who I am. And that was a practice. I used to need to be identified by other people. I now know that I know who I am, even when it looks like I don't. And then from there, I said, here's the difference, though, because you're right about everything. I am stupid. I am a fake. I am a con artist. I am miserable. I am a homophobic slur, even though I'm in a relationship. Yes, you're absolutely right. However, here's the difference, though. I'm not your bad day. And he was like, what? I said, yeah, I'm not your bad day. I'm not your bad mood. I'm not the stress that you're going through. I have nothing to do with how you feel. In the same way that you have nothing to do with how I feel. If I'm triggered by you, that's my responsibility. So thank you for understanding that. You're absolutely right. Everything you said, every single put down you said about me, that's exactly who I am. That's all that I do every single day. Yes. However, I'm not your bad day. So thank you for understanding that. And he got into his car and he threw a hissy fit and he drove off and he came back crying to the dad because he couldn't afford to pay $400 a month or a week or whatever it was that was like really, really inexpensive for the value that he was getting. The people that are putting you down are hurting. And the control monster says, don't do it because you're going to be alone. You're going to be a failure. Your kids are going to be damaged. You're going to get the divorce. Nobody's going to understand you. You're going to lose out on your country club membership. You're not going to be able to go to the gala anymore. You're not going to wear the nice clothes. You're not going to have the same money. You're not going to have to be around this person anymore. All these conversations, regardless of where you're at financially, education, blah, 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 etc., so on and so forth. The control monster will tell you that you have no options, no choices, no possibilities, and you believe it. And when you actually map out your thoughts, they lead down to, I'm going to be a failure and pass away and nobody's going to know me. No, the whole room didn't clap because I don't need validation from other people. I kept on being myself and I kept on being truthful to myself, and eventually he tried to make peace with me. He tried to do some really like sideways, passive aggressive way of being friends. And I said, thank you. No, thank you. Because he's already shown his true colors. I don't need validation from other people. When I speak, it's not about getting validation. I don't care if people's hands are clapping. When I speak, it's because I'm tired of feeling silent, and you relate to that too. I speak because I am tired of being unheard and unwanted and unappreciated and abandoned and traumatized and being a victim. And some of you who are in here, maybe there's just one or two of them now that it's 4 o'clock. There's people in here that the trolls that come on here, the people that don't like me that come on here that just hear a segment, a sliver of my conversation and try this passive aggressive thing to like put me down or to get the power or whatever. Like, you feel exactly the same way that I do. You feel the exact same way that I do. That's why I don't care when people put me down. It's all good. If all of us actually spoke up, if all of us actually communicated how we truly feel, we wouldn't recognize ourselves. Thank you, Stina. I love you. I'm not for everybody. Neither are you. There's so many ridiculous reasons about why we have depression and why we have anxiety. This is what I wanted to say earlier. Consider the fact that when you have social anxiety, when you don't want to be around people, what you're actually doing is, ooh, this might trigger you. And be like, oh, that's powerful. I got you. So check this out. When you're not creating content, when you're not speaking up, when you're not going outside, thank you, Jenny, when you're not showing the world who you are, you're actually being, oh, you ready? Because you're not going to like me at first and you're going to get it. You're being selfish. You're being selfish because we want to see more good people. We want to see more of who you are. When you're distracted taking care of other people and saying, I don't have any time, when you do have time. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 30 minutes there. I can't do it. It's too hard. Yes, you can. Take baby steps, take baby steps, take baby steps. I'm taking baby steps. When you're not showing up, when you're staying, I have to stay inside and I have to stay stuck and I can't post videos and I can't tell people my story and I can't talk to other people. And then you're like, I hate the fact that I'm so alone. You're not making any kind of effort for your life. You've given up on your life. And the younger version will look at you and be like, this isn't why we came here. What are you doing? We don't want to be alone. It's not cheesy to find friends online. It's not cheesy to tell your story. It's not corny to walk up to somebody and say, I don't know how to make friends, but I like your energy. I like your outfit. I like your style. Want to grab a coffee or something? I know it's weird, right? I just don't know how to do this. I used to when I was a kid, but I think you're cool. You want to grab some coffee? I noticed your bracelets. Are you spiritual or something? Be raw. And consider the fact when you're saying stop calling you out. No, Scorpio's here. Ring, ring. How are you doing? Or like Gen Z and Gen A say, hello, how are you doing? Because they talk like this, like we're in Star Trek now, right? Like this. That's that part of us that wants to play small. And it's not cute. It's not fun. It's not in style. To speak in a way, to live in a way where we're small and we're tiny, and women get hustled the hardest. And in my opinion, women need to speak up and stand up and be more yourself, talk about your moon cycle, own who you are, and put these little boys on timeout. I'm confident as a man. I don't need validation from anybody. But what we're not going to do is walk around anymore thinking that I have to be strong and nobody's going to understand me. I got to this space because I lost my mind. I snapped, man. It's exhausting walking around thinking nobody's going to understand you. For real. It's exhausting. It's exhausting smiling like, yeah, I was in an abusive relationship. I hated it. When you weren't laughing when you were getting struck. You weren't laughing when you were getting attacked. You weren't laughing when they messed with your money. You weren't laughing when they said that terrible thing to your child. You weren't laughing when mom and dad put you down. You were crying. You were angry. You were hurt. And we devaluate ourselves and we play ourselves small and we deflate ourselves in hopes that people are going to like us. So, if you like this conversation, tap in with me. Tap that star up there. $6, join the VTP family. That'll get you a 15-minute call, 15 to 30 minutes. I typically go over. And then from there, we'll talk for an hour for $40 instead of $60 if you're a deal person. And emotional intelligence is just you being open, telling me what you're going through. I hear the beliefs. I see the blind spots. And I want for you to be more yourself. I don't have a system that works for me that's going to work for you. It's not how it works. You can have different understandings. Like when you see people commenting on here like, oh, that's interesting. I never thought of it that way. How interesting that there's another perspective. And if you can't afford it, take notes. But if you were told, thank you. If you, it takes one to know one. Thank you for that crown. Thank you. But if you were told that you're stupid, and if you're still walking around with that belief of you're not good enough and you're stupid, every single part of your brain is going to focus on the things to validate that you are stupid. The brain is fascinating. And again, I'm sharing this message recently because a lot of people right now are financially going through it. I'm right there with you. When I was by myself, I could get 3 pieces of pizza for $3. Now I'm in a relationship. There's one other person and there's 3 children. I went to Walmart now that I'm in a smaller town because in New York there's different options. I went to Walmart that they're selling some eggs for $20. Like, wow. Right? I'm just not ashamed. And the control monster will tell me, from somebody who came from poverty, you're not a leader because you don't have $1 million or $100,000 in your bank account. You're not a leader because of how your background looks on your screen. You're not a leader because you should have more followers and you should have a blue check mark. And you're not a leader because this one person doesn't like you. I'm right there with you. The more that you level up, the more eyes that are on you, the more eyes that are on you, the more odds there are going to be that somebody doesn't like you. You must own who you are. You must know who you are. You must love who you are. You must stand up for yourself. You must be the cheerleader, the quarterback, the wide receiver. You must fall in love with yourself. You must dance. You must sing. You must choose different choices and realize you have different. Have a mom and a dad and kids and a white picket fence. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. It actually doesn't make sense. If you really think about why you're depressed and why you have anxiety and why you're frustrated, it actually doesn't make sense. Typically, before you play any kind of game, like for example, if you play basketball, if you play football, if you do something, you typically practice before you get involved in a team. So in that same way, you would typically try different methods, and then you would find your own way to play that game. Life is a game. It's frustrating sometimes. It's not always a happy game. It doesn't always make us feel happy. However, it's an illusion. All of the pain, all the frustration, all of the money, all of the how you identify, all of the how you need to look, how you need to present yourself, all of these people who have spiritual opinions, the spiritual community attacking the spiritual community, no sense of community at all, everybody changing the rules every single day, every single week, more laws get passed, that changes things, and then there's distractions. There's one conspiracy, then there's another conspiracy. You take care of this person's happy, but these other 5 people hate you. This is why it's not bad to be selfish. It's a negative hustle. It's a negative connotation to say you shouldn't focus on yourself. If you do that, you're selfish and you're greedy. No, everybody is inconsistent. Everything is changing. Nothing makes sense. Everyone is a hot mess right now. This is still the greatest time to be alive because we are going to realize that we have a responsibility that we haven't realized before. And now, every single day when you wake up, even more, you're realizing, oh my God, I need to take my life into my own hands. Are you realizing that now? Or are you still thinking that that person is going to change, who has shown you time and time again that they don't want to, they don't think anything's wrong with them. You should live life their way. What's up? What's up, Lisa Marine? Yes. How exhausting. How exhausting to constantly need to change for other people and put on that fake, exhausting, heavy smile. Thank you, 777 Nia. And again, anybody who subscribes, please, right afterward, please go to that bio link and tap that book Time with Me. And then you're going to see the 15-minute link. It takes like 1 or 2 minutes. Just fill out the basic information and we'll talk. No judgment. Save space. Let me see this comment. Thank you. Thank you, too, man. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. So what can we do? What can we do with this information? Well, when you book time with me, I do teach you how to communicate and how to set boundaries with people. And anybody who does get the hour session with me is going to get the ebook on setting boundaries and the worksheet that I've created for how to map out how to get from point A to point B. But what I'm suggesting is something that you're not used to hearing. I don't think anybody in your life has really told you consciously for you to be more yourself. Yes, 777. Nia, is it Nia or Naya? Message me and I can select somebody at random. Thank you. But thank you for supporting me too at the same time. I don't think anyone has really consciously told us that it's okay to be ourselves. I think the younger version of you would love to hear that. I think the 5-year-old version, the 10-year-old version of you, after she was having a bad day, after he was having a bad day, would love to hear, do you know that that other person was having a bad day and you can actually be more yourself now because we've grown up and we have options, and I want to know how to be excited like you. I want to know how to be hopeful and optimistic like you. Do you know that you can speak up now? Do you know that you can tell people that you're angry, and if they say don't be angry, that you can stop talking to them and tell them it's okay that I'm angry. It's not a bad thing. My anger has nothing to do with you. I'm expressing my trauma. I'm healing. Love that, PJ Mom. I love how everybody's in different places in this family, right? When people roll their eyes, for example, we love Stina, right? Like when people roll their eyes, that's where we go, okay, I'm either going to stop this conversation. Like I will literally in mid-conversation be like, you know what? Actually, I don't want to waste your time. And then people go to, no, because people don't want to hurt other people. I say, no, really. I choose to have conversations with people who actually want to hear what I have to say. It's cool. You're not interested in what I have to say. Like, and enjoy your life. I love you. It's all good. You weren't paying attention. You weren't making eye contact. You like, no, really, truly. You weren't involved in the conversation. Enjoy your day. Really, truly. That's a big part of emotional intelligence. Or you can have conversations and you can change that person's perspective too. You can have different conversations with people to say, hey, I noticed that you weren't really tuned into the conversation. Is this boring, or do you have something you need to take care of before we go any further? Because I value my time in the same way I'm sure that you value yours. Do you see that? I'm not being passive aggressive. I'm genuinely curious. I call it out. The more that you call it out, the easier it is when you get in static moments, when you get in stuck moments, when you get in trauma, triggering, frustration, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn moments. Call it out. Stop the runaround conversation of I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. There's been people recently who booked time with me. I'm like, yo, you need to you need to remove everyone from your life. If you feel like giving up right now, if you feel like you're barely hanging on, if you feel like completely and totally giving up, if you're like, I don't get this, I don't like this one bit, congratulations. Congratulations, because that's how I got to this space. I didn't have anybody help me up. I had a friend, let me reframe that. I had somebody who helped me up in the sense of like finding me get a place, and I'm grateful for him. I love him. He still lives in New York, and he's a cranky old man with a good heart. Love him. But for real though, man, like it was me and it was me and it was me and it was me. If I didn't show up to that job, they replaced me. If I didn't have the perspective that I had, nobody was going to stop and say, hey, it'll be okay, keep on going, especially living in Manhattan. You don't have time for that conversation. Right? It was me. I just did. And I feel like this is why I need to tell my story and share my message, because some people have had enough and you're tired and you're like, okay, it's never going to stop with this person. It's never going to stop with people. It's never going to change with these other people. Word. Tell them to do the dishes. It's right there in the Bible. Men do the dishes. It says right there in the Bible. Go look it up. For real, man. Like, you get to a space where you realize people are just going to keep on being people. And we go from the hostility and the anger and the, you're not paying attention to me, to be like, oh, you're not paying attention to me. So if you're considering getting out of a relationship, this is where you start to go to the library more, or you go to a coffee shop more, or you look up areas in your neighborhood or in your community where you can walk. You have to walk 15, 20 minutes. Fine. You're not able to walk, or you can't afford to go out, or whatever your situation is, then sit there and set boundaries and save up. If you don't have, you can get noise canceling headphones, and they don't have to be AirPods. You can just get noise canceling headphones but just read the reviews. Don't just buy the first one. Slow down because you value yourself. Like, if you're living with somebody whose energy is negative and toxic and whack, like, you have solutions in the world that we live in. Stina, some of the stuff that I've realized, like some of the awarenesses that have changed my life, and I tell this to most of the people, that like most changes in my life were so simple. Just to understand, when I started looking back at all the different relationships, and this is another way that you can practice emotional intelligence. You can practice emotional intelligence by looking back and saying, what kind of friendships did I like? What did I do differently that I'm not doing in these other friendships or relationships? And let me look at other people in my past who've shown me love. What was I doing? Why was I not thinking about their opinion in those moments, but this person I am thinking about their opinion? Or for those of you, why is it that when I'm single, I'm a very loving, good person, and then when I get into a relationship, all of a sudden I change? Like, some of you get into arguments in your relationships or the next relationship you're going to get into because your mom or your dad wasn't around all the time. And so because you're used to that, you're now around somebody who wants to spend more time with you, and you hate them for that and you resent them for that, because they actually want to spend time with you. But you created a story because you saw your parents weren't around all the time. That doesn't apply to everybody here because everyone's circumstances are different. Thank you, Stina. I appreciate you too. Sometimes I don't feel like I have the energy to do remedial tasks in my life. Well, good awareness, and how frustrating at the same time. All emotions aside, how interesting. So this is where we think, I don't like this, right? Like, this is the formula. I don't like this perspective. I have, if you want to get it for $5, I have a worksheet I've created on mapping. This is the equation though. I want to do something happens, and then I don't. Why is that? How can I cross that bridge? How can I get to that space? I need to call the place about my taxes. I need to send an email off for this job. If you just realize that you need to, please hop off of this live stream and send it right now and come back on, please. For real. I want to get to this space, and my mind keeps on telling me that I am a certain way, or that I'm not a certain way. How frustrating. What if I just go for it? What if I just start messy? What if I just start up the YouTube channel and start messy? What if I just create one video because I want to find people and do a call to action video to say, are you this way? Are you this way? Do you feel alone? Do you feel ugly? Do you feel unattractive? Do you hate creating video content and think that if you create a video content that somebody's going to put you down and attack you? I'm the exact same way. I'm just tired of feeling alone. Do you feel alone? Let's be friends. I heard that TikTok has a great algorithm. Let's be friends. Just like when you were a child, call it out. There's millions of people who feel how you feel. Or convince yourself for the thing that's boring and frustrating. Think about the outcome. That when you take care of all the things on your to-do list, that you'll have more money, you'll have more financial freedom to focus on other things, you'll have more time to focus on your health and amplify that and zoom into that and make that larger than life. Thank you, BM. Thank you. I don't let anyone know what I'm doing. Me either. unless they're directly involved. I understand very, very much that some of you are very excited, and then you talk to your mom and your dad. Some of you don't even realize it. Like in my last relationship, I had to tell her, I'm like, I don't know if you're aware of this because you've been around your mom for so long, but she really is not interested in what you're doing. She goes, uh-huh, uh-huh, wow, uh-huh, uh-huh. And in her mind, it's like, how can this benefit me? How can this benefit me? Ooh, she has auditions for acting. As soon as she gets that role, I'm going to say, hey, send me money, send me money. She doesn't care what you're doing. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Like, no. Some of you just are such loving people, and it's cool. And at the same time, like, when you get the gift, when you get the blessing, when you get the abundance, when you get the money, when you get the job, when you get the thing, when even, for example, for those of you that are women, for those of you that are mothers, like, you don't even tell people that you're having the baby until the baby's at a certain place, you know, in along that journey of creating life. Like, you're not gonna, I mean, they say that you shouldn't. I mean, maybe you do, but like a lot of times people will tell you, like, don't tell people until they're in like the second trimester or whatever it is, right? I'm not a doctor, okay? But what I'm saying is, hey, I love that you booked time with Jen. Good. Definitely, definitely do. She's great, right? When I tried telling my mom about what I was doing, all that I got was, oh, must be nice. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? It is really nice. You know what's not nice, though? I was in an abusive relationship and you told me to smile more. That's not nice. I unlearned passive aggressive behavior. I want to be having direct conversations with people. I don't do that running around, well, maybe if you did it this way, well, maybe, oh, must be nice. Oh, no. It is nice. It's really great when you set boundaries with people. Oh, yes, it's amazing when you love yourself. You should try it sometime. All the way through, unconditionally. You should love yourself all the way through. Oh, yes, the grass is greener on this side. You know what side that is? That's the side when you love yourself, when you decide to love yourself. On that side, yes, it's amazing, and it's awkward, and it's cringy, and it's cheesy, and it's fake, and it's stupid until it's not. And then it's amazing, and it's powerful, and it's loving, and you deserve it, and you don't have one person around you telling you that you're stupid or you're wrong. Yes, you're absolutely right. Must be nice indeed. I did something. I had choices. I made choices. That has nothing to do with me. And if there's going to continue to be this conversation of it must be nice, then every single time that we have the conversation, it's going to be, hi, how are you doing? I'm fine. How are you doing? Or I'm not going to answer the calls. And I don't want to do that because I love you. However, I respect my boundaries. I respect myself. I don't want to be around people who think that what I do is easy. It's not. It's powerful. Life is not an escalator. You're not abandoned anymore. You're not codependent. You don't want to escape the stuff. We didn't get born to live in Disneyland. What a bunch of nonsense. That's why you get frustrated, because society and Walt Disney and your parents and everybody told you your life should eventually be easy. Or you created the story of like, if I'm this way and this way, my life is always going to be good. Have you seen how much people want to destroy celebrities and destroy famous people and destroy millionaires and destroy billionaires? Have you heard women talking about who grew up naturally, genetically looking a certain way, and they get put down by other women because they look a certain way that society determined is attractive? And that because that person looks like their life is easier, people genuinely go out of the way to attack that person. Human beings are nuts. They're nuts. People are out of their mind. Stop doing the people thing. Man, what would life be like if all of us stopped trying to look attractive and just wanted to take care of ourselves because we acknowledge that we're powerful? Again, if you don't want to be around people, but you still want friends, if you don't want to create content but you still want friends, if you feel lonely, if you feel stuck, but your friends are going to mock you if you create content, or if you go out there and if you open your heart up, if you focus on mental health, you're living for everybody else. And what you're saying is, I don't have any value. I don't value myself. I'm not consciously aware of what my value is. I need for somebody else to show me my value. So I'm going to stop loving myself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to love you more than I love myself, hoping that you see every part of me. Are you reading between the lines of what I'm saying, of how human logic is nuts, that we're constantly told that we're selfish when we love ourselves? But when you love yourself, that's a boundary. That's you saying, I like to be treated this way. I like to get massages. I like to go to the spa. I like to travel. I like to take chances. I like to be emotional. I like to yell and to scream and to heal my trauma. I love to cry my eyes out, big snotty tears. I love to have days where I just wear sweatpants and I just chill out and I do absolutely nothing. I love to follow my intuition. And I love to be held accountable when I am overreacting. I don't always know what I'm doing. I love to be around people who are nurturing when I make mistakes to find solutions instead of putting me down more because of their own personal trauma. Boundaries. Hey, what's up, Scotty? Nice to see you. And the hustle is to never do that. Or you say, oh, yeah, I'll do that later, but then you don't. And you keep on going back into the abusive relationship, an abusive family, and narcissistic and toxic people that just like your energy but don't know what to do with it. How would I handle an abusive boss? It's all relatability. I would say, hey, do you know that you actually hired me for this job because I'm really smart and I'm really intelligent? I would start listening to what they are saying instead of how they are saying it. For real, I would start listening. I mean, it's more of a complicated conversation than that. Book time with me. Let's talk about it. Or what I could say from here is it's all relatability. I acknowledge what you're saying. I acknowledge that you feel that I don't do the job correctly. I get that. I get that. I can also acknowledge that I wasn't properly trained. I wasn't given all the information. I do better when I'm trained by people who actually take the time to make sure that I understand. I do better when I'm given all the information. In the same way, I'm sure there's been times where you haven't hit the mark that you wanted to hit and you felt frustrated and not good enough and not worthy. We're on the same page. I got hired for this job because I am smart. What's up, Chakra Gal? I mean, maybe your narcissistic boss is driving you crazy for you to start up your own business like Stina, like me, like Jen, like other people around here. I'm amazing when it comes to sales. I could go in and sell ice to an Eskimo. The last job that I had where I was a brand ambassador, I was phenomenal at it. One of the best in the nation in the agency that I was working for. And then they said, we can't pay you this anymore. All right, cool. I got scared, I got nervous, and I posted a video because I was alone, and then here I am now. I was doing this part-time before. This is everything for me now. You say you're not well-equipped according to who? Don't put yourself down like that. Don't play small. When for the person who said, what if it's your boss who's abusive? Take this as a note, please. People who are CEOs, people who are VPs, people who are CMOs, people in positions of power, attorneys, entertainment attorneys and stuff like that, a lot of times there's a large portion of earth that is left brained. They don't have time for the spirituality. They don't have time for your emotions. So when you're getting around people that don't show their emotions, because remember, a lot of times the reason why people are capitalists, the reason why people are so money hungry, and I got into a big conversation with somebody who completely and totally disagreed with me on this one. The reason why people are so power hungry is because their mom and their dad weren't there for them, and they decided that they were going to have all the power so that they could never feel small ever again. So when you're talking with these people, be very factual, 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 factual. Factual. Non-emotional. The person is very left-brained and in her masculine with trauma from her parent. So so you being a woman with somebody who's around somebody else who is who leads more with masculine energy, this is where sometimes people can create beliefs around you and you don't even stand a chance. So this is where what I would say is find a way to match their energy. It's hard for me to be non-emotional. Well, let me share this with you, handmaid. Let me share this with you. What I do when I get around people who are like that is as soon as I find that part of me that's like, oh my God, every single part of me wants to respond, I go to stop. You want to be listened to, listen to them. And it's uncomfortable and it's shaky. And then I go, hold on, they're not talking about you. Observe them. You're watching a movie right now. You're watching a soap opera right now. You're watching a documentary right now. You're watching a play. This person doesn't know you. They haven't taken any time to get to know you. They have no idea what your strengths and weaknesses are. They just want the job to get done. They just want to make the money. They just want to get the thing accomplished. We have options. Hey, what's up, Gavin? Nice to see you. Thank you for the gifts, right? We have options. We have options. People who are more left-brained don't care about your emotions. They don't care about your feelings. This is where the game of it is when they're talking, you're listening to what they are saying and not how they are saying it. You're getting over past childhood traumas, and they spoke to me like how my mom or my dad, I mean, after your job, after your day, absolutely map that out and think about that. You know, like, when did somebody first speak to me this way? This is my mother wound. This is my father wound. But what I'm saying though, what I'm saying to do, what I'm suggesting to do is really just listen to them. And when they say, that was stupid how you did that job, I didn't like it at all, that was really, really bad, that was really bad how you did that, profits are down, or whatever they're saying to you, and you go, okay, cool. I understand, I take responsibility. Next time, what I will do is I will slow down. And if I don't know what I'm doing, I will communicate that to my team leader or whatever your scenario is. Just rise to the occasion. Don't take it personally. I know that it's frustrating. I know that we can physically feel it, but those emotions are energy in motion. Your body, when you feel anxiety, for example, your body saying, hey, are we safe? Are we safe? Are we good? Do we know what we're doing here? Are we okay? This reminds me of something. I don't like this. I feel like we should get out of here. That's the childhood version of you. And if you're not, convince yourself that you are. We are safe. This person is not attacking us. They're just telling us that we didn't do the job correctly. Do I have some good tips to help with anxiety? When I'm at work, when I'm in a work environment, if I don't like how I feel, if I can, I will go to another room. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the double taps. I'll go to another room and I'll take 3 to 6 deep breaths, and I will fill myself up with moments where I remember where people complimented me, where people gave me opportunities, where good things happened, where somebody noticed me, where I won an award, where I won a contest or something like that, where I was hanging out with grandma, having a good time, playing at recess when I was in elementary school. Whatever your thing is, I fill myself up with that energy. I remember the times that people have actually complimented me and boosted me up. I breathe all of that in. When I take 3 deep breaths, I slow down my brain. I get more oxygen in my body. You can put your hands on your hips. This is called a power pose, Superman pose, or Wonder Woman pose. I say internally, I choose to be here. Becky right there says, say out loud that I'm enough. Where I go to is I tell myself I choose to be here. Internally, I have that conversation. I just make a conscious choice, and it's not like, oh, I choose to be here. It's like, I choose to be here. It's a different shift. It's subtle. And I breathe after I tell myself that internally. I don't say that out loud because sometimes I use that in moments and I can feel the anxiety when I tell my brain we're in control. Thank you, handmade. Yeah, you can have a list of 5 things that you're going to do and just focus on number 1. And only that one thing. Another thing, if I have anxiety, there's an actual meridian. There's a point right here that you can tap or you can rub. And you can go down to your belly button. You'll notice when you go down this area, you can physically feel it sometimes. Word, you can listen to binary beats. I was listening to those last night when I was meditating. When you have anxiety, you just let yourself know that you're safe and you're in control. For me, sometimes I excuse myself, I go into another room. An empath feels, you release all of that. There you go. Gavin has another one. Rub your hands and touch your ears. Get into yoga. Yoga is amazing. What I would say more so what's helped me is when I'm going to get around other people, I ask myself, is there anything that anybody could say or do where I would feel insecure? Before I go to work, before I go to this job, before I get around other people, whatever your situation is. Is your shoulders pop? That's what's up. Is there anything that anyone could say that would make me feel like I wasn't good enough, like I lost my power? So let me talk with this part of myself and let this part of myself know you are good enough, you are don't go into Scorpio, boss up, own up to it, rise to the occasion, and move forward, because you're not going to remember that moment days from now. Different. Anxiety just needs to be told that it's going to work out, and also understand that there are other people in this world who want to see you. Just because this one person is having a bad day and can't communicate and process their emotions, there's other people outside of that. For me, I tell my anxiety, like, there's times before I go on live where I feel anxiety and I'm like, do you know how many people love you, dude? Do you know how many people love these live streams? And I had to, before I had 1,000 followers, I was telling myself, do you realize there are 28 people who have never, ever met you in your life? And when you post videos, they like what you have to say. Like I'm in my bedroom right now. Do you know how weird it would be if there was 28 people? Hey, what's up? Oh my God, I love you. I'm like, why are there 28 people right now in my bedroom? Right? So this is where we start to realize, this is where we start to realize that a lot of the conversation that goes on here is past stuff. Like people get mad that they get 200 views on something. Like if there were 200 people in your home, you would be overwhelmed. Like somebody was saying that like people will have like 1 million followers and they'll get like 10,000 views, and the person's like, do you know, like that'd be like a stadium. And it's still not good enough for people. One of the biggest, thank you, grow with me now, one of the biggest things that I really started to realize that is so incredibly simple that it goes over most people's heads is that the entire definition of success is human made. The definition of what success means is completely and totally human made. It really is. This is why I love being a truth seeker. This is why I love focusing on spirituality, because the more I learn, the less I know. And I'm like, why am I over here needing so much validation from people when you continue to learn about spirituality, you realize your ancestors weren't focused on this. You're in this weird competition where people don't even realize that they're competing. Planet Earth ranks human beings. We get ranked in society. That is the biggest, I just don't know how else to say it to you. If you're still depressed, if you are still frustrated in 2023, if you are still thinking that you have to stay in that relationship with that person who is abusing you, and I understand that it's easier said than done to get out of it. If you are still accepting people's negative behaviors, if you are still accepting people putting you down, friends cracking jokes at your expense, people mocking your spirituality, people mocking your spiritual growth, people mocking your personal development, people making fun of your attitude and your outfit and saying that you're sensitive, if you're still people pleasing in 2023, it may never stop for you. What is it going to take for you to realize every single thing on planet Earth is a theory? And when you follow your intuition and when you get out of the abusive relationship and you have kids, guess what? You create a Nikki Scorpio. I'm everything that they said that I shouldn't be. I failed at everything except for being myself and continuing to go on. What's up, Heather? Nice to see you. I failed at everything. I had some successes here and there. I was good at some things. I've traveled. I've been around. I've had songs on the radio and stuff like that years ago. But like, I didn't get to that place where I really felt good about myself. And I realized, oh, wait a second. I'm living off of everybody else's definitions. I'm living off of everybody else's rules and guidelines. Like, for real. How else can I say this to you for you to realize that this is one of the biggest obstacles in your life? For the guy who puts his head down and says that nobody's going to understand me. For the woman who rides on a bus or rides in the car every single day and goes to work and says nobody recognizes me and sees me and I'm all alone. For the person who's in that relationship where it's mentally, verbally, and even physically abusive and otherwise. When you walk around saying nobody understands me and you still have to put on a smiley face and you get in front of other people. What's stopping you from saying, hey, do you know that I'm in an abusive relationship and I don't know how to get out of it, and just seeing how they're going to respond to it and saying, I'm not joking. I'm seriously, I don't know who to talk to. Nobody else around me cares about this. Or what's stopping you from actually going behind the scenes, going to bed earlier or later, waking up earlier and doing more research? If you need to drink more coffee or do whatever you need to do, or stretch or do yoga or whatever to get more energy in your body, for you to do more exercise and more effort in your life, what is stopping you? Besides, it's too hard. And I don't have enough time. When you do, you have 30 seconds every single day you can meditate. Don't lie to me and don't lie to yourself and say that you don't. Even if you have 25 kids and you live in a little old shoe that's made out of graham cracker, you still have time to take care of yourself. You still have time to just close your eyes or to open your eyes and visualize yourself in another space and to focus on what you emotionally feel in your body. It's you. It's you. And that's powerful. Thank you, Tammy, for being honest about that. It's us. It's us. When we realize that it's us, we can do something about it. If we say, you're the reason why I'm upset, you're the reason why I'm angry, you're the reason why I'm sad, you're the reason why I'm not happy, that's codependency, that's abandonment. You should put me in a better mood. You should make me feel happy. You should give me love. You should stop what you're doing. I don't care that you're overwhelmed. I don't care that you have anxiety. I don't care that you're angry inside. You should stop what you're doing to take care of me. That's expectation. That's human stuff. We're better than this. We don't need to have expectations of what people should do because that is connected to the theme of this live stream, which is control. The control monster tells you nobody's going to understand you. Everybody needs to validate you. If one person tells you that you're stupid, you should stop what you're doing and listen to them and give them any kind of attention. You should stay in the abusive relationship and see it all the way through. Otherwise, you're a terrible person. You should fix every single person in your life when they have a problem because you were a fixer when you were a child. You should never tell people you're alone. Never tell people you're stuck. Never, never. You're weak if you do that. Oh yeah? Then I'll end this live stream right now if you believe that, because then otherwise, what am I doing here? This is weak. No? Oh, it's different? Oh, you like my vulnerability, but you hate yours? How weird. Step outside of yourself. How weird. Nobody's going to understand me. I was right there with you. And then everybody understood me. Who relates to having 2 lesbian mothers, a gay father who died of AIDS when they were 9, growing up in the hood with nobody else looking like you, being in an abusive relationship and being taken advantage of for 8 years? Everybody in the club, put your hands up. Yeah. Wait. Somebody put like a finger up. I don't know what that means. Oh, you kind of, okay, got you. Sheesh. I'm perfectly okay for those for you who's asking. Well, what I talk about is emotional intelligence. This is a human condition that we walk around saying nobody understands us, right? I'm not okay. That's news to me. Uh-oh, I better go, you guys. I'm not okay. I'm thriving. All that we need to do to start making changes is identify what we're feeling. And then from there, when we get around other people, be aware of that anger, be aware of that depression, be aware of that anxiety. And we could talk with that emotion and talk with that feeling before we get around other people instead of, hi, Nikki Scorpio isn't smiling. He must be sad. Come on, Nikki Scorpio, give me that smile. We love your smile. Smile all the time. No. Why does there have to be something wrong with me, right? That's what we do in society. You should smile more. You should smile more. Oh, you should smile more. Newsflash for all of you who have people around you who are introverts, stop telling us to smile. You smile. Go to therapy. Figure out why you need for other people to be happy. Roar! How exhausting. So how are ways that you can be more yourself instead of saying, I have to control my emotions. I can't show excitement. That's cheesy. I have to show people that I'm serious and I have to be a real man and be serious. Or I have to be more quiet in this way and that way. I don't even question my responses. Question yourself. Question yourself. Question yourself. Why do I do what I do? Why do I have the reactions that I have? That's emotional intelligence. Boom, just like that. You're genius. Curiosity. What other options do I have? What other options do I have about my life? What other perspectives do I have? People get mad when they've been poor their whole entire life when you tell them they have options and choices. No, I don't. I'm stuck. I'm poor. I'm broke. I am. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You are a human who is experiencing life. Life has no meaning, and so you make the meaning and you accept that meaning from society and from your family, and you've never even questioned that meaning. What if you are just a human being experiencing life, looking for love, and maybe you're looking for love in the wrong places? That's okay. But you are a human being who is experiencing life, and you are interpreting and you are making the meaning. And if you actually slow down and realize there was another way to do this, that's already giving yourself value and wealth, right? A key holder, I've never heard that before. It's probably similar to a gatekeeper. People who have information and they don't want to share with other people. I don't get that. There's life coaches that are just so corny. They charge like $10,000 for a weekend, and then they're going to just keep you in their next class. I want to give you all the solutions. I feel, I'm going to pin this comment right here. Thank you, Chakra Gal. I genuinely, the only way that we're going to start making real changes is by asking ourselves, how can I actually slow down? I mean, again, for example, do you actually listen to yourself when you talk? Do you realize that you drop gems? You say things that are cool. Again, right before I was going to get on a client call, the person needed to change the call. It was supposed to be with them and their child, and the child was having anxiety. That's cool. We can reschedule. I get that. All right, we can have that conversation next time. And I said something very randomly, but not randomly, of that's okay. Sometimes the control monster shows up. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, oh my God, the control monster. That's a good conversation to talk about. Just like that. I've never said control monster before. It just popped up, and now here we are talking about it. Just like that. Because I drop gems like a clumsy jeweler, because the more gems I drop, the more gems I receive, baby. I'm not going to live in control. Aren't you exhausted by trying to control everything? Especially if you were raised, check this out. I dare you, if you were raised in a family that didn't talk about emotions and didn't talk about feelings, it was more on the narcissistic side. I dare you to actually stop focusing all of your energy on your outfit and on your presentation. I dare you. I dare you. Your whole existence is presentation-based love, and you're a good person. The emotions, the vulnerability, the open-hearted is where freedom is. It's where wealth is. It's where peace is. It's where love is. It's where truth is. Do you really want to exhaust yourself for the rest of your life thinking that other people are finally going to give you the happiness that you've been looking for, when it's all in here? This is success. This is success right here. Presentation-based love is not where it's at. I feel sorry for people who have to put on like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to get ready in hopes that people are going to like them when they don't even like themselves. Like, cool, put on the makeup, play dress up. Scorpio loves to I love to look fly. I love to look good. I love to wear comfortable fabric. I have healthy belief around fashion and traveling and experiencing different things, okay? I'm not going to sit here and be somebody who says, I hate money and I hate money and I hate money. Then you wonder why your life is miserable. If you are walking around with the belief of I hate money, I can spend 48 hours with you and show you how that belief is ruining your life. Good. Taking care of your hygiene is absolutely important. Scorpio loves to moisturize. Okay? I'm all about that. But what I'm talking about, typically people who come from families that don't show emotions and don't show feelings are like, I'm going to get a job. I'm going to keep myself super beautiful, super attractive all of the time. I'm going to have a job where I can make a lot of money so I can have power, so that I can be around other people who have that. I'm going to show them that I'm attractive. I'm going to say all the right things. I'm going to do all the right things. But if anybody finds out that that terrible thing happened to me, it's going to unravel everything. And if anybody pokes that part that unravels the equation, if I have to take any kind of responsibility for this thing that I don't like, I am going to make their life disaster. They are going to feel all of the anger that I have felt in my life. And then we label those people as narcissistic. That's not fair to them. That's trauma. You're not a narcissist. You might have been raised by people who don't show their feelings. But trust me when I tell you, when I opened up my heart, when I told my story, I got peace. I got peace. All right? So, I'm gonna hop off in a minute here. I just wanted to have this conversation with you to say, how does control affect your life? For you to really take a look at it. What are areas in your life that you want to change your dynamic around control? How can you do that? And watch out for that control monster who's going to tell you, don't say this, don't do that, don't do this, don't take that chance. Because control keeps you poor. Control keeps you broken. Control keeps you miserable. Control says nobody understands. Control is playing it safe. Control isn't critically thinking. Control isn't taking any time for yourself. Control isn't focusing on your mental health at all. Control is making that cheesy. Control is escaping real conversations. Control is fight, flight, or freeze. Control is I'm a victim. My life is hard. You don't understand me. Control is that person's mean, but I'm going to stay in the relationship because I need to be by somebody else because I hate to be alone. Control is I don't have any options. Nobody understands me. My life is hard. I'm stupid, and I just accept that. Okay? Thank you. I'm glad that this resonated. The question is that you ask yourself, now that you're like, oh my God, he's talking to me, what is my call to action? What am I going to do that I normally don't do in that circumstance where I hated that, where I felt that frustration? Set timers. Set alarms, set reminders, do research, baby steps, educate yourself. It's not 10,000 steps. And if you want to book time with me, tap that star right up there. That's $6 to join the VTP family. From there, that stands for Victorious People. You get cool emojis like you see people on here that have graphic design. You also can tap that link in my bio and go to book time with me and tap the 15-minute link. Typically, I go 15 to 30 minutes in that conversation. And then from there, I'm going to send you a private link. And instead of $60 for an hour, it's going to be $40 for an hour. And we can talk. And emotional intelligence is simply perspective from moment to moment. It's a different perspective on the narcissist you've never heard before. It's a different perspective on communication that you've never heard before. It's listening to your beliefs and finding the blind spots, because people drop clues. And I do that because I'm a turtle. The tortoise won the race. Slow down, baby. You got this. If you like this conversation, tap in, subscribe. All right. Thank you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. This is not a paid actor right here. This is a real human being. Tune in with me. I work with senior citizens. I work with teens. I work with family members. Emotional intelligence is not you wake up tomorrow and you're rich. It's, ooh, I wanted to respond and I didn't. That person just crossed their arms when I said something that was real. My intuition says this person isn't paying attention to what I'm saying. Maybe I should start up that business. Ooh, that's too overwhelming. That's too hard. I'll do it later. Stop self-sabotaging, all right? Stop it. You're better than that. We want to see all of you. So dedicate yourself to yourself. Love yourself more, because when you love yourself, when you own yourself, nobody can take that away from you. And when you can find your excitement, baby steps, because excitement used to feel cheesy to me, you give other people who feel like you, who look like you, permission to do the same. It's powerful. Imagine the 16-year-old version of you having this understanding. Imagine the childhood version of you having this conversation. Imagine that person having that conversation before you got into that abusive relationship, before you put yourself down and were hard on yourself. I teach this. Connect with me. I would love to meet you. It's on Zoom, safe space, no judgment. All right? So, with that being said, thank you for those of you who do take notes. Thank you for those of you who communicate with each other, make friends. This is family. This is unconditional love. Thank you for the gifts, the double taps, the donations. Every single double tap, every donation, every gift, all of that is going to take this conversation into the mainstream. Thank you for those of you that celebrate me as I celebrate you. Thank you for the love. What we're going to do before I hop off is we are going to take a deep breath, and this deep breath is going to be for all of us collectively to have peace. Peace around our happiness and our joy and our excitement. Peace around our sadness. Peace around our anxiety. Peace around our depression. That inner knowing peace. Financial peace. Being able to have the bills paid, being able to keep that roof over your head, being able to thrive, being able to start up that business. Peace around taking chances. Peace around your mortality. Stop fearing your mortality. Yes, people, I just need to say this from time to time. I will never reach out to you for a reading. TikTok does not always report the people who are pretending to be me. I will never, this is my only account. I have an account with my girlfriend that we've recently created that we're going to start creating content for. But I don't have Yo Nikki Scorpio 6 or Yo N1 Nikki Scorpio, like all of those. It's not me. Okay, thank you. Yeah. I definitely do not talk and say, hey, beloved, I want to give you an energy healing. I don't do that. Okay, thank you. All right, so deep breath. Peace for all of us. Peace collectively for all of us. Peace around our health. I love that. Peace around our safety and our protection. Peace around being able to scream, being able to cry. Peace on when we get around that narcissistic and abusive person, that parent, that ex relationship, the father or mother of your child, that boss, that coworker. Peace so you can stand your ground. So what we're going to do when we take in this deep breath is from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, visualize that energy going up your body, any color you want to. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I like to use the color purple. You can do gold, you can do white, whatever you like. Okay? I actually create moments. This is why you see me roaring and why you see me laughing, because it's exciting when you find out that things are going your way. It's not like, oh, cool, thanks, financial freedom for sure, whatever. No, that's good news. Thank you. All right. All right. So, for all of us to know peace in our own way, because you are a better experience when you have that inner knowing, when you have your faith. See if you can, whatever emotion comes up, that you can honor that emotion and bring that emotion in. Honored guest. You don't have to roar. You don't have to laugh like I do. If you need to cry while you're breathing, if you feel shaky, if you feel anxious, that's fine. Put it into the spotlight and stop hiding it. Stop pretending you're okay if you are not. You do not need to entertain other people. Thank you. All right, so eyes open or eyes closed. Focus on finding your peace. Again, I like to breathe from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head. And after you exhale, you are now radiating that energy, and you go out into the world and you harness that energy. And when you get around other people, they don't need to see that you are thriving. All you need to do is just harness that energy. And when they match your energy, turn up your energy brighter. And when they don't match your energy, harness that energy, take it internally, and meet people where they are, because you are the leader. Doesn't matter how much older they are than you. Doesn't matter what their title is. That's a hustle. All right? So, here we go. Thank you. Breathe in slowly. I go slowly, so don't compare your breath to mine. But just know that I take deep breaths because I want to take my time with it. But just breathe in. When my hand goes up, I'm breathing in. When my hand goes down, I'm breathing out. All right, here we go. Breathe in slow. Set your intention. Create those visuals. Make it real. Breathe in. Roar! And so it is, and so it is, and so it is, and so it shall be. Congratulations, right? Congratulations on the screen if you're a winner celebrating other winners. Speak it into existence. All right. So I truly, 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 truly appreciate everyone for being in this live stream. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you. Congratulations to you too. Thank you, Megan. Thank you. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate your tears. Celebrate your anger. Celebrate your emotions. Celebrate your gratitude. Remember, go back to gratitude. Find your gratitude when you're impatient. Find your gratitude. Set those boundaries. Find your gratitude. Keep your momentum. If you want to learn, join the VTP family for $6. Go to my profile, tap book time with me, get that complimentary energy exchange. It is free for you supporting me. 15 to 30-minute conversation. And then from there, instead of $60 for the hour, it's $40 for the hour. Learn about emotional intelligence. Also, good news. I have a class that is going to be a round table class that is going to be the full spectrum of what emotional intelligence is. If you like this conversation, want to do something similar to what I do, if you want to learn just how to have different understandings and reactions, there's going to be 2 classes per month starting on the 4th of March every Saturday. It's going to be 2 times a month. It's going to be 3-hour sessions. And on top of that, I'm also going to have worksheets and printouts for you. And I am also going to give you a session on top of that. Pretty good deal. All right. Tap the link in my bio if you want to sign up for that. I'm very, very, very excited about that. Get used to speaking and being vulnerable in a powerful way around different people. All right. So truly, truly, again, thank you so much for all of you being here. And if you just hopped on, because I'm about to hop off, the question that we are asking, because we're talking about control. I talked about the control monster, how control affects your finances, how control affects your communication, how control affects your relationships. Please ask yourself this question. This is an open-ended question for you to take at as you walk down the street, as you live your life, as you need to respond to the phone call, the text message, the person, as you drop everything that you were just doing to take care of them. That's control. The fact that you think that you can't do other things, that's control. The fact that you need validation spiritually, physically, mentally from other people when you have intuition and you know what you're doing sometimes, that's control. The fact that you think that people are out to get you or that you're a victim, that's control. You have infinite options, infinite possibilities, and I understand it's easier said than done sometimes, and I understand that it's scary. However, I choose peace. I am not going to live my life being afraid. I know that it's easier said than done. However, you do have help. You do have angels. You do have ancestors. There is information. There are options, and technology is a search engine. All right? Thank you for understanding this. Thank you so much. And again, for anybody who subscribes, please make sure that you go to that bio link to tap in to book time with me so that we can talk. $6 for 15 to 30 minutes. I think that's a pretty wild deal. I would definitely take advantage. And again, we talk about emotional intelligence. There's no judging. There's no, oh, you're doing it the wrong way. I want for you to be more you than you ever have been in your life. All right? So I love you. Hey, what's up, Daisy? So thank you. And this is going to be, we're streaming on different platforms. This is going to be on Twitter. This is going to be on YouTube, possibly on Facebook. But you can find my YouTube by going to my bio and tap the link. All right. I love you. Make sure that you're following along. I typically go live 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. So I got to hop off. I got a call coming up in 5 minutes. I got a one-on-one. Book time with me. I love this. I love to see you win and level up. Let's go. All right. Thank you. I love you. Also, my Venmo, if you're feeling energy exchangeable, if you're feeling like I like this guy and I want to support him, my Venmo, because I'm getting better and better every day at receiving love, my Venmo is Nikki Scorpio. My Cash App is $ Nikki Scorpio. My PayPal is Yo Nikki Scorpio. I have a gratuity jar, debit and credit. All that's available in my bio link. I have t-shirts. I have hoodies. I have mantras. I have mottos. Thank you, Earth Tamar, for subscribing. Please tap that link in my bio. Looking forward to talking with you. See what happens. Tap the link, see what happens. Join the Discord, link in my bio, see what happens. Make friends like people are. Message people, communicate. You can phone call, you can video chat without giving away your personal information. Thank you, Toolman. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, hybrids, alien, human people, wherever you are, however you identify. Thank you for being open. Thank you for taking notes. I got to go. I love you. In 10, I love you. 9, love yourself. 8, unconditionally. 7, listen to those frustrations and those judgments with other people. You should be able to live your life and not be frustrated long term. It's fine if you're angry. It's fine if you're sad. It's fine if you have anxiety. It's fine if you feel like you're a hot mess. Okay, for real. The world is a hot mess. Stop worrying about people's opinions. 7, make eye contact with people. 6, when it feels off, it is off. 5, desperation, in my opinion, is the worst place to be as a human. Ask yourself, are there any areas in my life where I am being desperate? Okay? What number is that? 5, 4. And now that it's 5 o'clock in the Pacific time zone. 4, momentum can be negative and momentum can be positive. Sometimes we need to stop and say, okay, that's annoying. However, I'm not going to stay stuck in this negative momentum. Okay. 3, emotional intelligence is being able to take 3 to 5 seconds before you respond. Try it. The power of the pause is powerful. 2, go on a long-term journey to be bored when you normally go on to social media. See what you can do when you don't respond and don't entertain other people. Especially if you're a people pleaser. Be in the uncomfortable energy and see how uncomfortable it feels there. It's a boss move. And number 1 is you. It's always been you. It'll always be you. Because if you didn't exist, there would be no you. So yes, it's nice to say my kids come first or other people come first or I want to make the world a better place.